Hey YouTube, it's Bible Teen, and this will be a video response to Luke Morris 1's video, which is titled Edit Info to MN12BIRD's Game Boy Color Review. And I have seen both videos of Luke Morris 1's and MN12BIRD's, and they are great videos. But anyway, what I want to talk about is some extra info about why that these clear cartridges, clear Game Boy Color only cartridges, will not work with the original Game Boy. But anyway, and I apologize if the light glares into the screens. Can't really help that, I apologize. But anyway, what I'm wanting to talk about today is that the Game Boy, of course, it has different shades of gray. You know, the original Game Boy right here. While the Game Boy Color can display 56 colors on screen at one time. But, anyway, of course you can play, you know, the original Game Boy games on the original Game Boy. You know, they work fine. And believe it or not, these are actually, these Game Boy Color games with the black cartridge cases can work on the Game Boy, and let me show you. May not be that good of a screen. And see, as you can see, it works. Works just perfectly. The reason why these can work on both the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color is that even though on their original boxes it does say Game Boy Color, it can work on the Game Boy, and you know, you get the classic black and white monochrome gameplay on it. But when this plays on a Game Boy Color, it has some added colors onto it, but it doesn't use the maximum 56 amount of colors. It probably uses about as many colors on screen as probably an NES or Nintendo Entertainment System or a Famicom or Family Computer, but probably with slightly more colors than what that can display on screen. But anyway, the reason why, of course, they've both already pointed out, you know, that the reason why that these won't work on original Game Boy is because try to flip the switch. It's got a special pin that prevents the cartridge from being run on. However, when I looked at this Game Boy Color only cartridge, and whoops, sorry about that. It says right here, this game pack is for the Game Boy Color system only. Yeah, it says this game pack is for the Game Boy Color only. However, when I looked at the back of it, it has the same notch as these two cartridges, as you can see right there. And of course, I was thinking, you know, a little out of curiosity, you know, I could probably try it, but it probably won't work. It'd probably just give me an error message, which it did. But I just don't understand, you know, why they put the notch on the back here. I know this is actually a cartridge that actually signifies that it's a tilt cartridge. You know, it's a tilting game, kind of like a labyrinth game or something. But anyway, when I put it in the Game Boy, when I put it in the Game Boy and I turn it on, it boots up fine. But you get an error message that says Kirby Tilt and Tumble. This game will work only with the Game Boy Color video game system. And as you can see, it doesn't do anything else. And of course, you know, it has each of the Game Boy color only games do have error messages on them. The reason why they have these error messages, the reason why they took the time to put the error messages in, despite the fact that these will work in a despite that these won't work in a Game Boy because of the special safety pin on the switch, is because of the Game Boy Pocket, because it doesn't have the special, safety pin switch that's, on the original Game Boy. That's the reason why they put the error messages in there, is because, if someone tried to play this, play either of these two games on a Game Boy Pocket, it will show the error message and it won't work. And not only is the reason why that the games will not work on the original Game Boy or Game Boy Pocket, or then for that matter a Super Game Boy, is because that it uses the maximum 56 color on screen amount. It's not just because of the reason why it will not run is not just because of it uses 4 times the RAM and accesses more ROM. It's because of the color. It's because of the many different colors on screen. It uses 56 different colors on screen, and the Game Boy does not have 56 shades of gray. It has a very limited amount of shades of gray, and therefore it can only play these kinds of games like this one right here, and this one, even though this one can play with some extra colors on the Game Boy Color. But anyway, another thing that these games can work on is these games right here. They can work perfectly on a Game Boy Advance SP. Yeah, this is my special NES edition Game Boy Advance SP, and yeah, but if you try to play a tilt pack game on this thing, it will not work properly. However, when you get up to the Game Boy Micro, the Nintendo DS, and the Nintendo DS Lite, as you can see, the games will not fit. As I'm showing right now. None of the games will fit. And the reason why is they used a different kind of connector. You probably can't see it. They used a different kind of connector that's on the, Game Boy Advance SP or on the Game Boy Color or even the original Game Boy. And so, in result, you can't use it. But anyway, the reason why these won't work on original Game Boy is because of the color palette, not just the RAM and the ROM, but because of the color palette. I mean, if you try to play this on a Game Boy without, with a notch and without the warning messages, and you try to play it, the game would start to lag, and the game would just be, it'd be virtually unplayable on an original Game Boy. But anyway, I'm going to show you some backwards compatibility with this, so see you here in one moment. Okay, I've got the Game Boy Color plugged up to a power adapter, and I'm going to show you what Super Mario Land looks like on the Game Boy Color, even though that it's a standard Game Boy game. And as you can see, it shows a few colors on screen. But anyway. Going to show what Pac-Man looks like, and this is the this is a Game Boy Color compatible cartridge. And as you can see, it shows a few colors on screen. Okay, and now I'm going to show you what Mario Tennis looks like, which is the Game Boy Color only game. And see, it has more colors on it than what Pac-Man has. So that's the reason why it will not work on an original Game Boy. And here's Kirby Tilt and Tumble. And as you can see, the colors are really bright on it as well. But anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to show about it, and that's one of the reasons why the Game Boy Color only cartridges, such as this and this, will not work on an original Game Boy. It's not because of you know, just the extra RAM size and more ROM it can access, but also because of the color palette, which is 56 colors on screen. It just won't support it on a standard Game Boy. But anyway, hope and pray you enjoyed this video. This has been Bible Teen. I'll see you next time.